Hi. I'm hoping that some more people show up. Becky is here. I got to meet Becky today. She lives in Grand Rapids, which is like an hour and 45 minutes. Well, she lives in Greenville, an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours away. And she was up in Detroit visiting, Ann Arbor area visiting her sisters. So she came through Brighton and I got to meet her. So that was cool. Hopefully I think some other people from Nicole's team we're going to try to hop on too. So we'll give it a moment. Getting text that somebody can't get on. How was everybody's spring break? Unmute you guys.
Good. How was yours?
It was good. As good as it can be with a bunch of kiddos. You know what I mean? They had fun and it was exciting for them. Hey, Nicole. But it's not too relaxing for the adults usually. But it was cool. And I know most of you guys got to see the picture of Piper with Mickey Mouse. And I feel like that made my whole entire trip. I wasn't expecting that. She's always preferred Mickey to Minnie. But something that she's always made very clear that she likes Mickey Mouse, not Minnie Mouse. And she would not let him go. Like everybody was laughing because we were like, okay, Piper, like move on, like let Mickey go. But she would not let him go. So it was super cute. And we had a good time at Epcot. But my kids just love the pool. I know yours do too. Emily loved the water. And so they just had a blast playing around at the pool. So it was fun. And Nora liked swimming. So it was good. It was good. There's Anne. Hi, Anne.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about how to share Plexus. There's Kristen too. Yay. How to share Plexus when you're new or new at sharing. It doesn't matter if you're a new ambassador or not. Or maybe some tips on how to share if you're already sharing and maybe struggling a little bit. So when you're a new ambassador, I think it can be a little bit overwhelming just with all the people, all the support, the resources, things kind of coming at you. And one of the things I talked today to Becky and Nicole about was just how whenever I get overwhelmed, I try to bring everything back to a place of simplicity, trying to simplify things. And that goes with my reach outs, my posts, my trainings, and just kind of how I fit Plexus into my life. We are all extremely busy. A lot of us have multiple kids. Some of us have full-time jobs. On top of that, there's lots going on, and I get it. But we all have time to put Plexus and work Plexus into our lives. And I think that if we utilize that time, even if it's a very small amount of time each day, to the fullest with our focus on reach outs and follow up, we can build a very successful business. And that's how I've done it. And that's how everybody has been doing it that's successful. So the first thing that I suggest to you to do when you're a new ambassador is to make your list. And I think that a lot of people don't do this. They don't really actually do it. And it's to your detriment because making a list is a good way to drain your brain of all your contacts. You know more people than you think you do. And so go through your Facebook account, go through your email, go through your phone, and write down everybody's name that you come across or that you haven't shared Plexus with. Don't discriminate. I think that's the key with your list. Don't think, nah, that person doesn't need the opportunity. They're a doctor. Or no, that person's really skinny and healthy. They don't need our products. You don't know what people are struggling with behind closed doors. And you don't want to make any assumptions. It only takes one person to be taken off of your list because she joined someone else or he joined somebody else, right? Then you're like, oh, maybe I should work my list. And it's happened to me and it's happened to a lot of us. And I think it's important that we make our list and utilize it. We want to be the first people that share Plexus with them. It's a gift and it's something important to share about and be intentional about sharing. And I think that's where the list comes in. So once you make your list, at least of 100 people, 200 is even better. And again, I know that sounds like a lot, but it's really not that hard once you start going. I mean, anything from, you can use a Frank's list, Google Frank's list. There's even one in our welcome pack that helps you, memory jogger, that helps you think of everybody from your mailman to, your son's kindergarten teacher. I mean, it's just a lot of different people. So make your list and then go through it and circle the top 10 people that you think could really use our products and the top 10 people that you want on your team. When you're thinking about people that need the products, I mean, these are going to be people that struggle with something: migraines, IBS, ADHD, depression, weight loss, fatigue, whatever. When you're looking for people that you want to share the business or the opportunity, I like to use the word opportunity. I think sometimes if we use the word business, it scares people. Because if someone told me that this was a business, I probably wouldn't have done anything. So the opportunity, we're looking for people who are happy, who are friendly, who love people, who like to have fun. And they don't have to have all of these qualities, but these are some of the qualities that I look for: who are already successful, who have a lot of followers and influence, whether it be on Facebook or just in life, are well respected in the community, things like that. Those are the people we're looking for. Circle those people. Those people will probably be on your chicken list. And what a chicken list is are people that maybe we're a little nervous to reach out to. And that's okay. We'll work through those. But definitely circle your top 10 people for your dream team. Also, you're going to want to pay attention to your warm market on your list, your close family, your really close friends. Okay. I encourage you to get with your sponsors and do a sip and see if you are new. It can be a virtual sip and see if you're not in the same location as your sponsor, or it can be with them in person. It can be as small as 5 to 10 people. It doesn't matter. Sip and sees are an awesome way to share Plexus on a personal, comfortable, very casual environment. And it gets people excited. I've had people go silver. Jessica Carney, who's on here, when we did a sip and see for her, she was on the leaders board for the company for the most preferred customers. They work. You just have to invite and follow up and make sure that people show up. But sip and sees are great. And like I said, you can do virtual ones too, where you can have people Zoom in to the sip and see that maybe can't come, that aren't local, and you can have your sponsors Zoom in too. I'm happy to pop in on Zooms as well and share my testimony. So just let me know. Then the reach outs. Okay, this is when it gets a little more scary, right? Because we've made this list, which is just like busy work and something that's not that scary. We've circled things, but now we actually have to do the work, right? Action kills fear. Most of you know that I've never done network marketing before, okay? I'm a social worker. I'm not a salesperson. I've never done this before. And so this was scary for me. And in the beginning, my reach outs were pretty bad. And so I'm trying to help people kind of avoid what I went through, because they didn't feel good, I don't think, to people. And I don't like that. I don't like that happened. So basically, when we're reaching out to people, we are aiming to add value to them. It's about them. It's not about our bottom line. It's not about getting a sale. It's about helping somebody, offering them something, and seeing if they're open to learning more. We're not sending them links. We're not sending them attachments. None of that stuff. Because I think when we do that, it becomes very clear that we are just trying to get a sale. We want to listen to them. We want to see what they're struggling with, and we want to help them, accordingly. Becky, you had said something today, and I meant to say something about it, and I forgot. One of the things you had said is that you had a friend that knew somebody that sold Plexus, and she would message her and not really talk to her about what was going on, but just talked about Plexus. So there's two thoughts on this, okay? One is, if I reach out to somebody that I haven't talked to in a while and I say, hey, your kids are so cute, how have you been doing? By the way, I'm doing this thing called Plexus. That can actually sound really bad too. And the reason it does is because everything before I shared Plexus kind of is erased. You know what I mean? So I think you kind of have to go one way or the other. Okay. Either focus on working on building the relationship and just build a relationship for the pure fact of wanting to build a relationship and a friendship. And if Plexus comes up organically at some point, perhaps if you're asking them what they're doing, are you working, blah, blah, and they'll ask you. And then of course you're going to say something about Plexus. You're not going to say, oh, I'm a dental hygienist. You're going to say, you know what I mean? You're going to say something about Plexus. Otherwise that won't work. But or you just reach out to people and you're straight to the point about why you're reaching out to them. You're still adding value, and I'll talk a little bit about how to do that. Let's say that we're reaching out to an acquaintance, okay? Somebody that you don't know very well, you haven't talked to in a while, but you've been following them on Facebook, and Facebook can give us a lot of clues about what's up with a person or what they're doing. And maybe they're talking about how they, love to, go to different social events, and they have this huge group of girlfriends that you always see, and they're always having fun. So my message to them is going to look something like this. Hey, I know we haven't talked in a long time, but I can't help but notice your incredible group of girlfriends and how much fun you have. It reminds me of what I do, and I'm wondering if you'd be open to learning a little bit more about it. That's it. Okay? I didn't mention Plexus. I didn't shoot them any links or anything like that. But I'm saying that they have qualities, right, that could fit in what I'm doing. So if someone comes back to me and says, yeah, what is it that you do? I'm going to say, well, I own my own business. With Plexus, and I'll explain a little bit about what that is. And I'll say, basically all I do is share with my friends and make new friends. And it's something that might be right up your alley. You obviously have connections and influence with these group of friends. So, doing that, this might come natural to them. And so you're just going to kind of have that conversation with that person. So your reach outs are going to be very focused on that person. And I think that the main point is that you're always going to want to point out what personality characteristics you see or that they have that could be beneficial to them, or how Plexus could add value to their life. Because if somebody is on Facebook complaining all the time about how they're going to pay for their bills, or going to work at a 60-hour 60-hour work week every week and how they hate it, then my reach out is going to be very blunt. Hey, I see your post about how much you dread going to work every day. You are so well connected and a caring person, and I think you'd be great at what I do. Not only would you be great at it, but could offer you some freedom where you don't have to be chained to a 60-hour work week. Again, just see if they're open. Offer it to them. If they are, that's when you can bring in your sponsor and say, this is what this person said. What should I say? We can share diamond documentaries. We can just say, you can say something like, I'm super new to this, but my sponsor has been able to, make six figures, or my sponsor has been able to, build a team of 40 people, whatever the case may be, and share that with people, because they need to know that anybody can do this, because it's true. It's so true. Anybody that says they can't, it's all excuses. anybody can do it. You just have to apply yourself and do the work and self-growth to get you there. So your reach outs, you want them to be on voice messenger or phone. So typing out a message is a lot less effective because there's no tone. I can't hear the excitement in your voice. A lot of people don't read things, especially if they're lengthy. And these messages you send to people should be less than a minute. When you do a voice recorder on Facebook, you only have a minute anyway. So that should keep you kind of tame. Practice. I've done that before where I'll just pretend and then actually record it. And, if you don't let go of the button, you don't have to send it. You know what I mean? You can delete it. So I do that too sometimes. Sometimes though, I accidentally release it and it sends, and then you're kind of out of luck. So be careful. Okay, so that is with the reach outs. Questions about reach outs before I move on to posture on Facebook. Okay. I think the bottom line is we want to be genuine. We want to point out what it is about them that we think would be a good fit or how we could add value, and then go from there. We always want to be sharing the opportunity every time, if at all possible, because people need to have options. We need to, again, not make assumptions. And at the very minimum, maybe they'll say, I'm really not interested in the opportunity right now, but I'm interested in the products. Then you have a customer. I think it's the best way to build your business, and not miss any kind of business builders that kind of want to run with you. Okay, your posture on Facebook. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say maybe for Kristen, my new ambassador, how do you, if somebody's like, no, I'm not interested, and obviously they're talking about the opportunity because you presented just the opportunity.
Right.
How do you then go to like, okay, well, maybe you're interested in the products after you know for sure they're not.
Sure.
If they don't, you know what I mean? If they don't switch themselves. Yeah.
So, when I'm saying, I think you would be really good at this, because, you have this and this and this, sometimes I'll mention, I like that message I sent to the group today. I'll say, not only has Plexus completely transformed my health, but it's allowed me to grow as a person. You know what I mean? So I'm adding something about the products and saying, it's almost like a no-brainer. Obviously, I wouldn't share an opportunity where I didn't believe in the products. And so, a lot of times what people might do is if they say, I'm not really interested in the opportunity right now. I might say something like, no problem. I think it's important for them to know that their response doesn't impact, you know what I mean, your emotional or it doesn't like send you on a downward spiral. Okay. We are not desperate. We're trying to help people. And if they're not interested, I'd rather them be ready than say that they are and then us be frustrated and them be frustrated. So anyway, I'll say something like, no problem. But if you know anybody who suffers with, and if I know they have like migraines, I'm going to say who suffers with migraines, inability to lose weight, pain, I would love your referrals, something like that. And then a lot of times they'll come back and say, well, I struggle with migraines. However, if I know somebody struggles with migraines and I'm presenting the opportunity, I'm going to put that in my first message. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say, not only do I think that these products will help you tremendously with your migraines or with your, depression or pain or whatever, but I think that your personality would be an incredible match to help other people who are struggling. So I'm usually finding a way to present both, but my focus is always on the opportunity because that's how they can get their products the cheapest anyway. But if they blatantly tell me that they're just not interested in that at all right now, I'm going to sign them up as a preferred customer. It's kind of that line. And I know sometimes it's we go the wrong way and we end up with an ambassador who, purchases $79 in product a month, and you want to like shake them, but whatever, it is what it is. And you kind of just have to do the best you can. As far as, the 10 people that I, had you circle for product reach outs, you don't have to mention the opportunity if you don't want to, but you can. I think that it's important, maybe not in the first message, but at some point, when maybe they say they're interested and you're talking about the products, to at least let them know the ambassadorship option, okay? Because that way everything's on the table and they can make their decision. We don't make it for them. That would be my suggestion with that. Okay. Posture on Facebook. So this is a biggie and something I royally screwed up in the beginning. I did not have much training at all. And so I kind of just tried to figure this out by myself. And I did, but it definitely had some speed bumps. So you guys have an advantage because you all have great sponsors. And I think that it's important for us to have a posture on Facebook that is basically living out loud. Okay. We're not being salesy. We are sharing how Plexus fits into our lives, how it's benefiting us, how it's benefiting our friends, how it's helping us to grow, how it's pushing us outside our comfort zones and our fears, how it's allowing us to have freedom. And when I say freedom, it doesn't just have to be financial, time freedom, freedom from fears or freedom from low self-esteem. I mean, all these things. There's so much that this opportunity has helped me with, and I share that. If you're new and you can't be like, this financial freedom's amazing. I mean, when you made $100 last month, that's totally fine. But what you can do is you can talk about your hopes and your dreams, and kind of invite people along on that journey. And almost to the point where you're putting yourself out there and kind of allowing your Facebook audience to hold you accountable. Does that make sense? Like just having your journey and living it out loud on Facebook in an authentic and genuine way so people want to follow you. I always ask myself, and this was a tip I think I got from Ray Higdon. Ray Higdon is a network marketer who I really like because he's very blunt and kind of tells you how it is. So follow him if you don't. But anyway, he sends like daily emails. So one of the things he said was, ask yourself if you'd want to follow you, right? Is what you're putting out there interesting at all? Is it fun? Is it engaging? And there has definitely been times in my Facebook career that I would not want to follow me. And so I think about that. And so you're going to want to be putting posts out there that are asking questions that are, if you have a question about gardening or whatever, you're just engaging people. It doesn't all have to be about Plexus. Education, articles, blog posts. Catherine she's another therapist on our team, and we were talking about things that maybe she could do. And I was saying, you could do like a Mindset Monday like segment, and like each Monday you could do like a 2-minute video on a tip on how to improve your mindset. Like, who would not love to like learn that from a therapist, right? And be engaged on her page. And Plexus has a huge place as far as the gut-brain axis, and that doesn't need to be gone into in those videos, but it's still all encompassing. And so you kind of have to think out of the box. What are you good at? I know Jessica Dieterle can't sew a button on pants, but some people can. And so you can show people how to do that, because people want to know. And maybe I'll do it, and maybe Jess will watch me tomorrow, and I think it's important to kind of go outside of your comfort zone. Jessica just said Mike did it for me. Mike is the best. He also knows how to load a dishwasher. Yay, Mike. Woohoo! So yeah, I think that, it's important for us to be adding value. I've been talking a lot about macros and things like that lately, because that's something that I'm learning about as I work with my trainer. So just think of what you're good at and share that. The best way to learn is to teach, or think about what you're not good at, learn it and teach it. That's even more cool, right? Because you're kind of taking people along the journey. So your Facebook needs to have things like that. There was like a post that somebody made a long time ago. They took a picture of their living room couch or chair and said, this thing hasn't seen much action lately. And that's it. And but people were like, what, why, huh? What are you talking about? And it just started that conversation, right? So we want to be using attraction marketing. Okay. And if you haven't heard of that, Google it, because there's lots of trainings on that. And then the other thing is not being negative. It's important. You want to have a positive posture on Facebook. That doesn't mean you can't be real, okay? We all have bad days, but we have had ambassadors in the past on our team and not on our team who are all health, yay, 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 love my team. And then the next post, they're, putting off F-bombs and it's just, drives me nuts. Or they're, taking a picture of all their family, eating, cheeseburgers and fries every other day. And it's like, okay, again, we don't have to be perfect. We're not perfect. I have a cheeseburger every once in a while, and that's fine. But we can't be leading two different, lives. We are ambassadors of health and opportunity. So it's important to demonstrate that on our Facebook pages. It's a huge, huge thing to have a positive and engaging presence on Facebook. Lots and lots of trainings on that on YouTube. So go ahead and, go to YouTube, Google, how to share Plexus on Facebook, or YouTube, how to share Plexus on Facebook, and you'll get tons of stuff. Also on Destination Diamond, on my team page, Pink Freedom, there's the Plexus peeps to follow for the new people. There's a file called that, and there's different people that are like gurus about the products. So you can follow them on YouTube and watch their videos. People to follow on Facebook who are great at sharing and engaging people. You kind of have to find the people in this company who resonate with you and who kind of speak your language, and follow them. Simply following the leaders is one of the best ways for success. The other thing is three-way messages, newbies. When you get interested people, start a three-way message with your sponsor. Just say, I'm super new to this, but Emily has been doing Plexus for 2 years, and I would love for her to share her story with you. Emily will share her story on the three-way message and kind of go from there. You'll be able to see what Emily does and therefore be able to duplicate that, okay? Duplication is very important in our whole organization, because if we can't teach people how to do what we do, there's no freedom, none. Okay, we're basically doing the work for everybody, and that's not what this is supposed to be. So definitely, I love, who said that? I don't even know. Oh, Sarah Taylor. She said, I'm happy to hold your hand if you hold mine back. And it's so, so true. We cannot pull people along, but we can coach people along. So three-way messages in the beginning are awesome and very important, because it validates things. A third party, validation. Plexus Power Tools, if newbies are not on there, it's a great, great resource. It's what I utilize to send people information on our products. Also, there's tons of trainings back there for us on the products as well as the business. So plexuspowertools.com. It's $10 a year, way worth the huge investment. So definitely get access to that if you don't have access. Our customer page. Okay, this is a great place to send your new customers and yourself to kind of help get them engaged. So make sure you're doing that. And then, following up with them is going to be huge. When you share Plexus, if you're sharing Plexus with a bunch of people, that's awesome, right? That's awesome. But if you don't follow up, the odds of them ever joining you are very slim. Most people don't join typically until between the 10th and the 8th and the 10th exposure to whatever it is, right? So if we give up on exposure number 5, we're potentially missing helping somebody. And so follow-up is key. Again, I talked to Nicole and Becky about this today. I followed up with Nicole for a year before she joined me. Jessica, you knew what I was doing for quite a long time before she joined me. We have to go at other people's paces. We can't hurry them along. So if we're constantly reaching out to new people, we're always filling our funnel so that every month, people who are ready are joining us. So that's kind of all I have. Does anybody have any questions or comments? I mean, I could talk all night, but I'm sure you guys want to go to bed. Yeah. Okay. I'm so proud of all of our new ambassadors. There seems to be a new momentum and just excitement on our team, and I'm loving it. Lots of new leaders emerging, and I couldn't be more excited for them. So please utilize our team pages and your incredible sponsors for help, and I'm always available as well. So I hope you guys have a good night, and we'll talk soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.